Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stick to Sayori route. That is the ideal way to do this. So we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna do a thingy, and you guys have no idea why I'm going to do that thingy until we get through the playthrough, just so that I can one-shot this. I'm gonna make sure that I one-shot the playthrough. So, that being said, we're gonna go for Sayori route first. And if you guys do not know, apparently I got an achievement. Hold on. Doki Doki Poetry Slam. What is that? Spend enough time during the poem minigame for the music to loop. That's super easy. Anyway, so we're gonna go for Sayori, which is she likes happy and sad words very specifically. Okay. Weirdly enough, really depressing words are they appeal to Sayori, as well as the happy ones. Anything that is cute appeals to Natsuki, and anything that is deep and convoluted appeals to Yuri. That is really all that comes down to it. I don't know where Question would go. Romance is probably equally Sayori or Natsuki, I couldn't tell you from that, but if we're gonna go with Sayori, Sunset would be the best one, for example, right? So, boom. Nailed it. This word right here, effulgent, Yuri, 910%. So if you see shit like that, that goes to Yuri. Passion, I think, is also Sayori, so we're gonna go with that. Raindrops, anything that's weather related to tends to work, but not all the time, as you saw right there, because that was Yuri. I think jump, weirdly enough, is a Natsuki word. We're gonna go with clumsy, because that basically describes Sayori to a fucking nutshell. Embrace should also be her. Giggle is too cute. Okay, apparently that works too. Not poof. We're gonna go with pain. Yeah, pain is a Sayori word. Scars is a Sayori word, absolutely. Atone probably isn't. Believe it or not, I think atone is Yuri. Cute is 900% Natsuki. We're gonna go with comfort. Yep, there we go. Next, strawberry. That's cute, never mind, right. Melody. That is also... Alright, Natsuki, go away. I don't want you. I don't want your route. Definitely... Actually, that goes to Yuri. Huh. Where... I think I'm kind of fucking spreading these out a little too thin, but, I'm not gonna load yet. Daydream. There we go. Not anxiety. That's... would not. I don't think it would be, at least. Now I'm thinking super hard about it, and like, what the fuck, bed. There we go. Hair. Fuck. Go away, Natsuki. I know you want this pro tag D, but no. Aura? No. Fuck. Hopeless. There we go. Hopeless absolutely is it. After image and entropy is 900% Yuri. We're not gonna touch that. No. Marriage, maybe? Yes. Doki Doki is cute. Why did I pick that one? Tears. There we go. I'm, like, pretty sure we got Sayori route here, but we'll find out. And, if we didn't, then I'm just gonna skip through all the way until we, like, branch out. But, we'll find out in a little bit here. Hi again, Fox. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club, and I apologize if my, like, commentary for this is a little poopy, but this is the reasoning why I went through this one with, Holly back in the day, because our back and forth kind of stemmed things, but I do kind of want to take the visual novel part of this relatively seriously, so that works for me. So... Again, if you guys haven't gone through the visual novel part of it, this is the time to do it, and I'm gonna try to get into the fucking Vienny parts and voice them decently. So, yeah, here we are. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Fox. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Ma. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back in her seat. Don't worry, guys. Fox always gives his best as long as he's having fun. It helps me with busy work without... Oh, he helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Yeah, he's basically a glorified maid for Sayori. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Fox can become good friends, too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori. Yeah? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. That Sprite, right there. That Sprite, Barry, zoom in on that shit. That is the reason why I gunned for Yuri route the first time that I went through this game. Literally that Sprite alone. Sayori made it sound like a big deal, and it's really not. Oh, what'd I do? Eh? Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel let out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it, if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I will definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book, and I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Man, looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slump down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature-related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. We did get Sayori route. Good to know. We're probably going to seem really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of literature club sounds a little too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, you know? We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem, though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori is taking this really seriously. It's rare to see her deliberating like this. That is a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Well, I guess we could. Cupcakes. Ah, good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. Ah, you're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. Yeah, I fucked that pronunciation there a bit, but that's fine. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. Ooh-ah! I open my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. That's also a great fucking point right there in the whole entire... Yeah, I like that part right there where she's just in your fucking face and then the sprite bounces back. Heh, sorry. Wait, actually I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know. You'll still need to get used to it. Don't say that out loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monika overheard. It's true, though. Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's the problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Eh? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I knew it. Come on. At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Eh? Sayori glances around at herself. How is it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. Ah! I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I will not fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. And there's a toothpaste stain on your collar right here. I try to wipe off the stain with my finger. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you, though. Fortunately, I don't really care about that. Hey, Beanie. And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori. Why don't you think you have a boyfriend yet? Eh? That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. Insert PNG image number 1 of Sayori. This is the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is the literature club. Okay? Has nothing to do with books in any way, shape, or form. Fuck you, guitar pick. Go over there. I tried to put you down in the right spot. I need some water, though. Because I am kind of really speeding through this text a lot faster than I remember going through it. Like I said, it's going to take a little bit before we get anywhere with this visual novel, and it'll be great. I assure you, it'll be the greatest. Anyway, so let's continue on with this one. This is also really close to the Doki Doki Blue Sky setup. I can't remember what was different about it, but this is pretty much the same. Whatever. Heh. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking about how weird it is to have a friend who does these kind of things. Eh? Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? I struggled to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. Anyway. You look much better now, so... Nah. Why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy. Ew. It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily buttons her blazer once more. Phew. That's so much better. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, then I wouldn't even let you do things like this. You take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all of these embarrassing things. Eh? I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine, fine. It's a deal. Hehe. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? So, maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayori. Aw, but I was joking that time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, anime tropes be damned. Anime tropes be damned. Alright, so we're on to the meat of the first day of literature clubbing. So, let's get on with it. Okay, everyone. Yeah? Monika suddenly calls out. Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Fox, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I fail to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, you did remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I never really have done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from Spiral Notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers on a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. What the fuck? My brain just skipped a beat on that one. Ignore that. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? We're going down the list, of course. I'm definitely more comfortable sharing my poem with Sayori first. She is my good friend, after all. Okay. Dots. Oh my goodness. This is so good, Fox. Huh? I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I am not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Ha ha ha. Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Huh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem. It's a Fox poem. And that just makes it feel extra special. Damn right, because Fox is kick-ass, that's why. I feel like I can... like I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet of paper against her chest. You are so weird, Sayori. Hehehe. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Fox. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure that you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be part of my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, it's been a while since I've read this one. Alrighty. Dear Sunshine by Sayori. The way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori. This is just a guess, but... Did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It just came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Heh. This was so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Next in line is going to be Natsuki Babe. Dots. Well, it's just about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it or anything. Baka. Eagles Can Fly by Natsuki. Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I can understand that. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set it up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. That is honestly one of my more favorite poems, though, of, like, the entire game, IMO, until we get to Monica. Monica's got some very interesting ones. Dots. Dots. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. She picks it up with, like, 2 fingers. She's, like, analyzing it up and down, like, flipping it to the back and everything. She's investigating that shit like an item in a Resident Evil game, trying to find the button on the briefcase to hit so that she can get the next key item. Anyway. Oh! Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face into her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes, and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How so? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? She reminds me of Double D with a lot of her lines, to be honest with you. Some of the shit that she says is very Double D-like. Anyway. Ghost Under the Lights. Her shit's hard to read, I forgot about that. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm's breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Anyway, I kind of like the ending of it more so than anything, but the rest of the poem, if I'm going to be blunt with you, I'm not a big fan of it, personally. It's a little odd. Little surreal, but I can see the appeal to somebody, absolutely. For me personally, though, when I see poetry like that, I'm not really too attracted to it, I suppose. But I do love the last part right there, the light flickers, I flicker back part. That's probably the best part of it. Dots. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah, well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah? That's no relief. Also, I did like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Fox. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That is impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Okay, we have gone through Yuri, now it is Monika time. You all get to see some interesting poetry here. Hi, Fox. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, I want to share your poem with me. That is a question. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Fox. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had these sort of things in common. Well... We may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you... It sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you would think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when I read your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? Well, I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has a kind of gentle feel to it. Like a woman's touch. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions, like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could end up... Oh, goddamn. I tried so hard to keep my momentum with that, but I gotta pause and drink some water now. I completely lost my momentum reading through there. I was, like, pausing in between words. Alrighty. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find a kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ha 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 ha. Totally not accurate in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's 'cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read about it then. Hole in the Wall. I just realized the naming on it, too. No, anyway, let's just continue. It couldn't have been me. I see the direction the speckle protrudes, or spackle, rather. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend, I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel. Alright, sorry, trying to catch where I was before. Anyway, I reel. Like a film left out in the sun, but it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Who? Who is he, I wonder? So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not very good. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's coming on strong lately. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress, so just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. By the way, very accurate advice that everybody should go for with anything creative. Very good advice. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my own mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Fox did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my own writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. We have a little bit of a fight that's gonna happen here. Oh. Which I haven't yet. And Fox liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Fox appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the... Oh, fucking Christ. That line. I forgot that line was a thing, but we're gonna just dive into that one, I suppose. I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Fox started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... And then they both just scream out at the same exact time. This doesn't involve you! Anyway, that being said, let's move over to Sayori time here. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Fox, she's just trying to make me look bad. That is not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Fox. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Fox? Well? Huh. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So I guess that's going to be... Alright, cool, there is a help me Sayori option. I was going to say, I also vaguely remembered this in Doki Doki Blue Skies, where there's like a middle ground option, because if I was in that situation, I wouldn't just fucking agree with one of them, because they're both accurate. And I think you can take charge in that situation in Blue Skies, I forget though. But we're gonna go with the help me Sayori option. I am going to phone a friend. Natsuki. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri. Dots. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Eh? Yeah? Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Fox! Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair to others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Anyway, I fucking love that part right there where she's just like, it's just, you're making her feel uncomfortable. That's such a slippery move to just dump that onto somebody else. Oh man. Anyway, let's continue. Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well... Also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. That is not a line that was in the original game. That is not a line that was in the original game. Sayori. Sayori stands up triumphantly. Monika stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So, this is why Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monika. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing to me. Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Oh boy, that last part of that sequence right there. Ugh, man. Man. Let's continue. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Fox, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow, and maybe you learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Fox, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, what about what happened earlier? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Fox, it's nice that I got to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think that everyone likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Day 2 is complete. We're going to save this right here, and we're going to call it the end of the episode and the recording session for now. Until next time, my little cherubs, where we dive into this more and we continue to go further down the Sayori rabbit hole. We're going to, like I said, do several runs of this and try to get everything that we need to of all the different parts. And there's a reasoning for it to do this 100% playthrough, and I want to just make sure that we do it all in one run, rather than have to start all the way over again. So, that being said, what we're going to wind up doing is get to a certain turning point about halfway through the game, I think, somewhere around there. And we're just going to rewind all the way back to where we were making poems, and then move over to the next character and go down the line. We will wind up skipping dialogue, though, when we do this, so that you guys can see the difference in dialogue when you go through those different scenes, okay? So, that is going to be my last point out that I have to say right there. I will be absolutely skipping the dialogue. I'm not reading it again to go through the different routes. I just want to show the new stuff off, and I am going to label them as such in the episode listings before we progress, okay? So these will be properly time-stamped or whatever else that I would need for them, and they are going to be organized properly. So this should be part 2 of Sayori route in DDLC+. And then everything afterwards is going to be all the extra stuff that y'all can see. So, alrighty. I will see you guys later. Take it easy.